And whee! Bonk. Love it. Alright, we have some more aluminium casings, so we can at least put that into here now. Get you started back up. Because I want a lot more radio control units. We have a few radio control units on us, and I'm not that worried about like tuning inputs at the moment for turbo motors, because I need just extra random amounts of turbo motors, purely for the use of like making the quantum encoders. I should have picked up some more cooling units as well, actually, cooling systems. Do I have some in here? Not many, but some, and it's not divisible by 6 either, which is awkward. Yeah, that's fine, we'll put you back. Why do I have leaves on me? Goodbye. We have a soma sloop, heatsink can go in there as well. So we want 20 of these in order to be able to make our first quantum encoder, and it's a rate of 2 to 2, so we'll be making, I think, only 38 actually, unfortunately, so not even enough for 2. We'll only have enough for 1 quantum encoder to start with. Alright, so the important thing at the moment is these radio control units, so we're going to park ourselves over here so you can see them coming into the container, and I'm going to take a short break. Cool, so you have stopped again. Yep, you have run out of aluminium again. Yeah, I knew it was going to happen. 100 is technically what I would want for the next round of these, I think. I can't remember how many more I need, though. I need to work that out. 26, so it's 1 to 2, 26, so that makes 50. Almost 150 in there, so that'll be 200. Especially if you include what's on the conveyor belt. Plus the 50 in there, so it's 250. So we have enough to make 500 of nuclear pasta currently, but we only have 180, 190, almost 200. Okay. So almost 200. I'm going to assume I did things in multiples of 50 generally, but maybe I didn't. Almost 200, enough to make another 500 or so. So we still need another 300, which would be 150 more fused modular frames, I think. Did I put them in here, or did I have them on me? I put them in here. Good. So there's 150. So that will be all I need, I think, for those. In fact, probably too many. That's fine. We're going to need 300 of them to go along with that 150. But for now, I'm going to keep the radio control units on me, because I want to make more turbo motors with them. I need to go and fetch more cooling systems. Yeah, see, we've run out of cooling systems now. It's always something, isn't there? It's always something. They're all really low usage, so let's do that. Maybe not the ones that were on me. It's fine. I don't really need them loose right now. So first things first, we want to go and fetch cooling systems and aluminium. Blink and you'll miss it. So these have backed up nicely. That means we should have a full container. Yes, perfect. And you have begun. In fact, you are coming along quite nicely. Excellent. And then cooling systems, we'll grab whatever we can. Because why not? We can hold 2 full container loads on us now. That's hilarious. Right, back we go. Straight away. And this is the direction that we go super fast. Putting the hyper into hypertube. Whee! Oh. I actually come out too fast now, I think. Because I barely caught myself with my hover pack. That's fine. I think I'd end up at my coal power. Maybe I shouldn't have that angled up anymore. Anyway, what are we doing? Cooling systems over here first of all. So let's stick 1 in there first just to get you going, and then the rest in there. Nice. So that'll just keep going. Limiting factor will now be more radio control units than anything else. And probably motors, yeah, because we haven't put a ton in there. Let's rectify that right now. We don't want motors to be a limiting factor on anything. Where are we wanting to go now anyway? What are we wanting to do? Turbo mode, that's right, turbo fuel still. You know what? We shouldn't do that just yet. So with our turbo motor production... So how many do we actually have in here now? 29. And I just saw some more go in. 30. Good. That's enough to get started on some quantum shenanigans. Now, do we want to build a little hypertube network, actually? Just quickly. Doesn't take very long to do, so, you know, it's... And it definitely makes it a lot quicker once it's there. So, let's do that, and just start spreading this. Noodle is always the best one for hypertubes. Bring that there. Go through the hillside here. We'll have a little relay point here, just in case we want to get into it at this point. We could always put it on a foundation otherwise, right? No, that's ugly. You know what? Let's not bother. This seems like too much effort. Let's come to this point here and just put a foundation down. Just so we know that it's going to be matching up. And then we can go to the middle of this point here. And then the middle of this point here. And then bring this over here. So we'll have a boost at that point. This is pretty flat ground here, right? Yeah, so let's do same sort of thing here. Go up one, so why not? Line it up there. Go up one. And then we'll go through the ground at this point. We'll just go to here. And then we'll go straight through here. As far as we can. We can almost get to our base. Perfect. There we go. And we'll leave it at ground level. That's fine. There we go. So, we have a few options for power. We're probably going to want to extend you. How big is a quantum encoder anyway? Let's actually put you in line and bring you over here so we've got a square available to us. Quantum encoder is huge. Okay. Never mind. And we need cooling systems for that. Alright. So we're going to be wanting to make this, right? Ah, that's right. First we want to be able to make some dark matter residue and turn it into crystals. And we need excited photonic matter, which requires more converters as well. Yuck. We're also going to need aluminum sheets. And crystal oscillators. Great. Okay. Lots more stuff. Lots more competing things for these. Though hopefully we've lined up enough of the radio control units, or will do soon anyway. It's a dark matter residue. So it's a byproduct of quantum encoding, but to kickstart things, to make the initial round of crystals, first we need to have it produced in a converter using just reanimated SAM. Currently we have some reanimated SAM coming along here on a Mark 1 to come into here, 40 per minute. We can't actually see what it would be, can we? Excited photonic matter doesn't... That's weird. It doesn't need anything to make. That seems strange to me. I thought that would also need reanimated SAM, because it says exposure to SAM in a high energy environment, right? So surely that should also need that. Apparently not. I guess you use some to make the converter in the first place, don't we? Yeah, we need 100. Oh, and also more radio control units. Great, okay. Well, whatever. I guess we're not doing that just yet then. That's fine. We can grab some more of these though. Oh, we didn't drop off the aluminium. I'm stupid. We should do that. First we can go as far as where it'll drop us off. Bonk. We didn't make either of these entrances. We need to put more concrete into our... what should we call it? A bit more concrete into our thing. I want to ride this the whole way and see how far it launches me. I think I need more steel pipes too, actually, as well. Yeah, pipes and beams, maybe a little bit. I didn't even put an entrance at the other end, I don't think. It'll just spit me out. It's not very fast, but it is downhill. And now we accelerate. And go whee! And go flying over our base, which is perfect. Good. And you can be hooked up probably directly to there, to be perfectly honest. Or maybe we intercept this to have one there first. There you go. Nice. Right. Sheets. What I should have done as soon as I got here is this. And then we want to put in more of these ideally. It doesn't matter just yet. Circuit boards we will need more of. That's fine. We'll worry about that later. How are you going? You're finished. That's right. Which means I can now use this container to put like oscillators into that. So that's fine. Now I'm going to need cooling systems for the... I put tons over here. So let's actually grab a few of these out. And did I leave any in here? I did. Well, let's take those out and put these all in. And then put the 47 back in there, because why not? That's now an even number. Wow, it's because of the conveyor belt. It won't be an even number. Alright, we can drop off our trigons over at the other site as well, just to keep that going. We probably want to change the container to become a large one instead. Right, over to our previous hypertube. Whee! Good. So we've got plastic zooming down there. We've got containers being produced up here. Oh, I still have a bunch of trigons on me. That's fine. So you haven't filled up yet. Oh, good. You hold a lot. That's nice. That's good to know. Right, we're probably going to want to foundation out a bunch of stuff here, but in the meantime... so compacted coal we had coming up here somewhere, right? But we haven't actually figured out how we're going to get it here. It's pretty much straight, like a right angle here. It's pretty much straight up there, isn't it? I mean, we can drop it down various layers. We can either go around or we can come straight across and down. Ah, we're in a bit of a dead zone for power lines. Let's do something about that. So if nothing else, this kind of demonstrates the path we want to take with the conveyor belt, if we can. We're above where we were putting our... That's an interesting point. Yeah, here's the wreck. That's true. Yeah, because we're above where that stuff is. So maybe we want to bring it up here and across instead, because that'll cut the corner quite nicely. Alright, so I think we actually want to put a foundation into the hillside around here. And then we're going to need... no, that's not going to be long enough, I think. Let's find out. I'm going to end up with a ton of compacted coal on me, but that's fine because I intend to do something with it. Some radiation stuff over here. So, for argument's sake, if we go from... Maybe I should just put the pole down. Something that I don't often do. Let's just put the conveyor belt pole down first. And sure, we'll put it up one. And do the same at this point here. And then we can do... No, we want it to go the other direction, so we should pull it from here. And we also want to do Mark II. Now that we've got more resources. Can you reach? Oh, you're just too short. Darn. Okay, well, let's reposition this slightly around the corner then. It'd be really nice if there wasn't radiation here. Looking at you, uranium. Really annoying. Okay, then bring this up here. Not quite. Okay, it doesn't quite reach, but again, we can fix that with a foundation just there. I don't like covering the world with foundations, but I'm certainly not averse to just having them jut out from the hillside every now and then. Makes more sense that this is something that you might do. Okay, let's reposition this slightly and have it right at the edge instead. Okay. And then we come this way. Past the wreck, basically. Because why not? Turn the corner. Turn the page. Right. Basically follow the power lines now, right? That was the idea of stringing these up. Oh, that's too long, so we can at least get to this point. I think we just want to do up one, so it's just sliding over the surface there. Yep. And then we want to put you across here instead to deconstruct you. And then connect you up like so. There we go. I clip it through the limb a little bit, but that's fine. Right, and then you can just go down as far as this first. And then we're going to be going over there, basically, I think. So at a certain point we're going to need a lifter, that's for sure. In fact, I think this might be the point that we need a lifter, realistically. If we put foundation there, maybe? It bothers me because this stuff isn't really like... It's just like the sort of coral stuff. It's not really rock or stone. Again, I'm overthinking this way too much. We actually want to come this way anyway, don't we? Yeah, so we don't even want to go this way. We're just wasting resources doing that. You know what? If we really want to satisfy my desire for cleanliness of these things, we go from here where we can see that, yep, that is embedded in the rock, and bring it out like here. This is where getting rid of wreck parts would be nice already. That's coming. Okay, and we just go all the way across here. And then we just drop through. This is one of those cases I should not be worrying so much about something I'm never going to come back to worry about. Yeah, it's clipping through something just. Who cares? I could just drop it through the entire world. It doesn't matter. But it matters to me, damn it. We could also have done like a drone or something. It would have been so many resources less rather than snaking a conveyor belt across the world. And here we are. So we want to drop it down here somewhere, ideally. Maybe we could have gone that way because we could have dropped down where that power line is there, I think. I think we want to just bring it to the edge here and put a container down there and have our compacted coal going into a container down here, right? It just needs to be a normal one. We could even just sit it on top of this for the sake of it, I think. Oh, we can't quite reach the whole way? Ah, that's so rude. Funny. It's just shy of being able to extend the whole way. Actually, let's bring it more up like here, shall we? Close to the buffer? There we go. And then we first have this going up as far as we can. And then we have this going up here. And then connecting up there. Oops. Voila. Okay, we have our compacted coal. This is very janky, but I don't care. Now, what were we doing? Well, how are we making this work again? I need to look at the parts menu again. Let's take a look at this again. Turbofuel. It was fuel and compacted coal, or it's heavier residue and compacted coal. So refinery. Get it around the right way. Oh, the inputs are even the right direction too. That's nice. It lets me put it down just somewhere around here. We should really use foundations, shouldn't we? There's an achievement for making a certain number of foundations. We should be making foundations. I think we need a 3x2 for a refinery. Maybe we only needed one, actually. Yeah, I think we only needed one. Never mind. Whatever. Looks better this way. Right. That straight in there. You straight in here. How much do you actually use to do this? 37.5 and 30. How much are we producing? 20. Yeah, so I'm not going to use much compacted coal at all. Well, I need to find a way to make more heavy oil residue. Unfortunately, I can't do it just directly off... there's no, like, oil to heavy fuel residue. We have to do it as something else. Oh no, the game won't let me break it entirely, I know. Yeah, that's what I sound like. Never mind. We don't need to produce it fast. So, 20 coming in, so 37.5 to 30. So if we make this 20, it's going to be 25 that it wants. And that's already, that 20 is already from an overclocked. Yeah. That's nasty. Okay, things do not divide nicely, unfortunately. Unless we just make another... I mean, it's a pure oil thing, so we can make more either plastic or rubber. Rubber had more residue come off the back of it, didn't it? I seem to remember. Yeah, this was an impure producing 60. We're actually only using 45 currently, awkwardly, to make 30 and 30 as equal parts. So we actually want to do that, really, rather than making plastic. But the plastic is useful for making the containers so we can package the turbo fuel. So the next thing we want to do is have some rubber. And therefore, maybe we want this container to be a big one, because why not? In order to be able to accept 2 inputs. The idea being... the other way around. I'll have to reconnect the conveyor belt in as well, of course. Oops. So we can have that coming down here. We can then have... oh, this is an industrial container for some reason. I don't know why. It's never going to back up. That's literally never going to back up because we're splitting it and we're passing the residual always through. So if that backs up, that's going to go that way and then go to the sink. We're never going to have excess. So the idea is that you will go straight into there. We could easily split this off even further. You know what? I don't care. I've decided I do not give a crap. It really doesn't matter. I need to stop putting so much mental energy into things that do not matter. Oh, I need more, whatchamacallits. Beams. The encased industrial things. Pipeline junction. That's the annoying thing with researching level 2 pipelines, is now they show up on here and I don't really even need them. Horizontal to vertical is generally better for these. Cool, so you can come in here. You can produce more rubber, simply because I just want more residue. So you do 20 per minute, but we can actually double overclock you as well, because you is only doing 120 and we're using 60 and 60. That's crazy. So you're going to make 40 and 40, which makes for 60 heavy oil residue total. So then we have the junction here and pipeline here. Snakes across there. And then you have to come up here. A couple of points here to then just go straight out the back. And we are not going to collect any of that. I guess the way that we could collect things is by having a slower pass-through, but we don't want that. We're collecting rubber downstream anyway. Alright, and then somewhere here, I guess we can just hook you up straight from there actually. We're not going to expand this any further, I don't think. I think this is just fine. So now I've got 60 heavy oil residue per minute coming in. You're backed up. Oh, I never gave you power. Okay. So 37 per minute. This needs to be like 50? Not quite. Oh, okay, we need another one. 50 per minute? 62.5. 48? Is that how this works? Yeah, 48. Okay. And it'll be 48 per minute compacted coal. Still not much. Right, let's now get... Let's just, for the sake of it, do more of these, because we can. And then have another fluid buffer for the turbo fuel. And fire you up. And then we'll worry about packaging you somehow. Well, that's interesting. Where's your power thing? It is over the side. Excellent. Good. Let's do that. And that. Right, turbo fuel begun. Then we're going to want to get our containers down this way somehow. We should just reposition all of this so that it's down here instead, I suspect. So from here we're going to want to split it to a packager, first of all. You're starting to hover, aren't you? Yes, we can worry about that later. So first we'll bring this out here. How big is a packager again? They're fairly compact, I seem to remember. Yeah, pretty compact. So that's nice. Let's do that there. And have a junction coming off here. Maybe not right out the back like that. Yeah, it's fine. It'll let me, so that's fine. Input to input there. The fluid one should be down the bottom. It really should. Makes no sense. Alright, and then we want to just do this, fill in the gaps, and then we want to move our packager, or our production, not packager, constructor. Let's just deconstruct this. So we want to take this off here. I can't fit all of them in my inventory at the moment, so we'll leave that container there for now. But we can deconstruct these. Leave that because that's got stuff on it. So first things first, we want to have a container. This is our packaging container. Let's do that there and have this just going around like that. Good. And then we can move some of these in there. Don't have a lot. Oh, we've got extra compacted coal on us. How full is this container yet? Not very. Good. Let's grab out what we can. Oh, it was all but one stack. Interesting. So we very nearly actually made that work. Now we can deconstruct you. And now we can make a constructor. We should actually get this started as well. So let's just do... you know what? Can we put it underneath yet? We can. Good. Let's do that. And do... Is that... It's not quite lined up. Now it is. Good. Here we go. Now, package turbo fuel. 20 and 20. Yeah, we were making 40. How much are we making? 48, so we'll have 28. We don't know what a fuel generator is like with turbo fuel in it yet. We don't actually have an idea of how much that uses. Okay, yeah, let's have it facing that way, shall we? Good. It's actually like 2.5 by 2.5, rather annoyingly. Because of course. So you don't select the fuel, you just pass it in. So let's get you filling up. 7.5 per minute. Okay. And we've got 28 spare. 15 per minute. If we make this 14 somehow, then we can have 2 of them. 480, 14.4, 450, 13.5, 460, 13.8. Okay. Or we just leave it at that and it'll be 30 and it'll be slightly too much. With the idea that this is actually going to back, we can also tune this, quite frankly. Yeah, this is the easy one to tune. We can just say 18 per minute. But this is going to eventually back up, and then there's going to be more in the pipeline. Let's give you some power, shall we? So let's maybe put a power pole over here, hook you up, get you packaging, because you're what I actually want, is the packaging. And then you are just purely gravy. So it doesn't increase the amount of power. It's still for 500. It's like 250 and then 500 when overclocked. So that doesn't change. All that changes is the efficiency of the fuel. It's 15 turbo fuel to burn that instead of... This would be 40 normal fuel to achieve the same. I'm not sure it's worth the extra effort, to be perfectly honest, but it's fine. Also, I should have put a nice junction in there so that I could put another one off more easily. Whatever. I mean, we can literally just disconnect it and do that right now, because it won't... It'll take like 3 minutes to burn through what it has, and it will not take us 3 minutes to do this. We're starting to not care so much about things being ugly. Ah, we need more concrete things. That's annoying. Well, we've got a man, we don't have a crafting bench anymore. That can be rectified. Oh, I also need to put our constructor back in. We've got a huge backlog of containers, so it's not exactly a huge problem right now, but let's just do that so we can see what we're doing. Yeah, it'll take you a while to work through that anyway. So, containers, empty canister, and we only need 20 coming out, right? Yeah. In fact, we only need 18 coming out, so let's do that. 30%, 9 plastic. So most of the plastic's going to get sunk. We're going to have 30 coming this, no, 20 coming this way, and we're not going to be using it all, so it'll back up. And we can help that by doing that first. Now, how much turbo fuel do I need? Also, I need a hard drive to actually do some of this stuff anyway, but... So yeah, 50, 150, plus whatever I need to make this. So that's to make rocket fuel anyway. Yeah, so I need another hard drive for that. Right, let's go wreck hunting then, I guess. So you know what? Let's finish this first. So let's get a crafting bench down anyway. Now that we've got things being packaged, just fit the crafting bench down here. Do I have the... I have so much materials for this, that's fine. I only need like 4 more, I think. Okay, that'll do for now. I forgot to put more into storage. Just see me. Yep, that's exactly what I need. Good. Good. And then we can just center this one up a bit more. That's fine, we can do it. Have it matching. That's fine. And connect you up. And double overclock. So that's another 1,000 megawatts for the network. Very nice.